Does that quite count as day? Oh, I'm really annoyed that the last episode, like, it's this big dramatic moment. You come down the lift and then you step forward and it goes da 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 da. Oh, it's so good, but it's the middle of the night. I would point out though, the planet in the sky there. I always like it when fantasy games just have like big moons and awesome planets and stuff in their skylines. Really cool. And here's a confession. Well, confession, I know. I'm actually not like... I've never completed this game. There's no other way to say it. I've never completed this game. It's a long game, and I've made hefty progress. Got very close to the end numerous times, but never actually completed it. So I cannot say with any 100% certainty that, you know, something as crazy as going to another planet would happen. I generally know how the entire game goes, but I haven't actually seen the very final sequences, and this seems like a good opportunity to mention that to you guys. The sound effects are really low here, but yes, this is the Earth Realm. Welcome back to Azurik Part 3. Where we're currently stood is overlooking a giant tower that's embedded in the floor. As I mentioned last episode, the Earth Realm is a giant machine. There's another one of those giant cogs over there. It's all over the place. Eventually, when this tower raises back up, what we're currently stood on will extend as a bridge. And this area is phenomenal to me. Like, this is my favorite area of the entire game, because you can't, like I've mentioned already, that many of the like realms you come back to and for so many times, but this, to me, in my memory, none more than any other. You see that giant tree over there? That's actually a section of the, that's where the Earth Realm, okay, so how do I describe this? All of the realms in Azurik don't all like just have an entrance in the town. They also connect into one another as well. So there's a hole in the floor here is what I'm trying to show you, but we can't really get in there. You would just die if you fell down there without getting into that at the same time, so we'll have to come back here later. All of the realms aren't just you know, quite boringly accessed from the town. They also connect to one another in cool ways. So for example, think of this, the air realm. Okay, how might the air realm meet the Earth Realm? What kind of region would that look like? What would the middling region of the connection of those two realms be? What about like a giant tree that reaches to the skies? And if you guessed that, you'd be completely right. You see that giant tree? That is how we reach the Air Realm from the Earth Realm, but they all connect to one another. You know that waterfall and lava fall that are together? There's something, maybe this video, probably next video, I'll be able to show you how the water and the lava realm connect, the fire realm, sorry, connect to one another in interesting ways. Here's another one of those things that goes down. This particular one is the one that like at the bottom down there is like a desert area. As I say, each realm really explores all the different, you know, this is the Earth Realm. What different types of Earth could we be in? We could be in caves underground. Yeah, they've got that covered. We can be in very green, luscious, beautiful areas. Yeah, they've got that covered. We could be in a desert. Yes, they've got that covered. They're all regions. Anyway, the desert region is down that cart over there. Oh god, I'm very disoriented suddenly. Or maybe this cart. And that's like one of the places I spent most of my time playing this game when I was younger. Have I skipped what I wanted to show you guys? I may well have, accidentally. How did I end up progressing so far down? This region here, that of course is the tree over there. Once we finally get the machinery of this realm working again, we'll be able to use this to like catapult ourselves over to the tree in a similar way to what we use the water spout. But as it stands, that is not feasible. We'll grab these, why not? We'll get to 42 rubies. I've actually got a test, like a test file going through this game, because like this is sort of deep nostalgia for me. Whatever game you guys think of that you get really nostalgic about, this is that kind of game for me, honestly. Even though maybe I wasn't that young when I was playing it, but as a result, I don't really remember too much practical. By the way, these were the things that we saw having sex on that bed last episode. But as a result, I don't remember too much, honestly, about how it plays, just sort of general stuff and big memories. So yeah, I'm doing a test play to remind myself of stuff. So here it looks like we need a key.
I need to find the key.
Need to find the key. He really doesn't talk that much in this game, but I always like it when he does. So we want a key to activate this drill. That's not going to be available just yet, sadly. There is a little temple area, which I was going to show you guys, which I should show you guys. Also, do you remember the silver teleporter that we had access to last episode? The other side of that silver teleporter is out here in these luscious plains. One of those little guys. Oh, I was going to look up the name of the creatures as well. Hold on one second. Okay, that really didn't take too long. It's not hard to read the manual. So, what was just chasing us? I believe it was a Catalisk that was attacking us. Oh no, these aren't Catalysts. These guys don't actually have names in... Actually, I'm pretty sure this is a Catalyst. You can get really big versions of these little hound creatures, though, from later on, which we can deal with when we get to that giant, like, mecha creature that it looked like was being piloted that we saw, and I ran away from last video. Those are golems, and the little blue goblin guys are overlords. There are 2 overlords, in fact, inside here for us to have a look at. And these seem like, you know, they're evil guys, but they operate a lot of the machinery you see in this world. Like, it's quite a fantasy world, but there is a lot of technology in the environments. And you always tend to find overlords piloting stuff. There are different types of overlords too. Like, these are blue ones, but you can get red ones as well that are more dangerous to fight. These guys are actually very bad fighters because they're clustering up next to one another and we managed to kill them. But here you can see we actually need 3 more keys. So these are 4 keyholes we've now seen to do who knows what. I can tell you straight away, though, if you've got any theories, that's not how you raise the tower up, because that is the tower. Eventually, like, when we're stood here, we'll actually be miles up in the sky instead of down on the ground. There's a little room over here with some cogs that seems to be closed. Most of this is just teasing us, though. Most of this is completely unavailable right now. So you might be wondering, well, why are we here? Why has the Oracle told us to come to the Earth Realm? And that's because we're looking for our second power. We found our water power in the water realm, so what might we find in the earth realm? And do remember me saying that. Up there as well, there's like a multicolored orb. You can barely see it. And that will replenish all of your elements at once, which is always handy. Again, another cog thing leading to what looks like a mountainous area, but nothing to do there. Really, this is just an alternate route down to the floor. So what I want to do now, really, is find this silver teleporter for us. By the way, I really shouldn't be recording right now. Like, you know how I said that I can do videos and I can, like, record videos while I'm rendering on my computer, which usually I can't do? It's still in the middle of rendering episode 1. Like, episode 1's taken ages to do. So I've actually managed to edit 2 full videos worth, record 2 full videos worth, and now I'm in the middle of the 3rd. Anyway, here we go. This is the silver teleport. And, like, it's bad. I shouldn't be doing this. I've got other stuff I need to do today. But I'm having too much fun. So an overlord's waiting for us and will attack us. Fantastic. And these are the teleporters that I described before that we'll just use to cut past, you know, the Bone Valley, as I call it. A lot of these areas don't have names. And one big thing you might have noticed about this game is it doesn't have a map. And I think that its lack of a map is one of the biggest reasons why this game can be a big pain for some people, but also so utterly immersive to other people. I'm just wandering around stupidly here. So there's a golem there, and like overlords sit in the middle of those. And what we're actually going to do is come over around this corner. Now it's going to be kind of dark, sadly, just for a little while. Maybe not even for too long once we get in here. Because it's nighttime. During the day it's actually quite nice here. We're going to come to this very pleasant, sort of watery looking area. So do you remember how I said that the realms can connect to one another? Well, what might it look like if the water realm met the earth realm? It would be kind of swampy, right? Well, this looks sort of swampy-ish, sort of marshy. And again, these are just my own speculations. Like, because this is such an obscure game, because there's so much written about, there's so little written about it, sorry, there are so few guides, there's so little online, there's like no word from the developers. The developers, I don't even know whether they're bust or not. Like, the last game they made was in 2004 that was like some totally random thing, like a golf game or something. Their publishers are known to, like, buy in a load of gaming company, like, developers that make games based on, like, movie IPs and stuff. So, you know, we're talking, like, proper low-tier games here. And they're just sort of associated with them. But I have no idea what this company's even doing. Like, the devs don't say anything. There's barely any statements about this game online anywhere. So, like, a lot of the subtle things you see in it are just up to your own interpretation as to what the hell they even mean. So here, I was just talking about how it looked like it was connected to the water realm. Well, now we're just sort of in an icy area, which is kind of interesting. It's also very bright under the water in here. Incredibly bright. And I'm always quite curious about this. Like, it's a good example, though, of how bright and colourful this game can be compared to the dark areas. Like, if it wants to be dark, it's pitch black dark. If it wants to be bright, it's incredibly bright. And I like that. Again, you don't see it too much. Like, games these days, they're just all grey and brown. Oh, God, I sound like such a loser, just like, oh, games today are so terrible. Games today are awesome, and I really don't like people who romanticize the past too much. Anyway, right, we've got multiple things we can do here. Even more keys! This is crazy. Look, 2 more keyholes, loads of enemies. I'm actually going to ignore the enemies for now. You'll be seeing me do that a fair amount. And that's because of one vital flaw with this game, which is where if you die and you come back at a save, all of the enemies, come on, let me up. Please let me up. All of the enemies respawn. Like, if they stayed dead and the enemies you'd kill were in the save file, it would feel really rewarding to kill them all because you could just, like, clear areas, at least, you know, for a period of time. You could have them respawn after a day or so or whatever. But, well, I don't know, 10 in-game days or something. But they don't do that. And as a result, you can spend hours, like, clearing a zone. Everything's dead. Accidentally die because you fail some platforming. And then everything's alive again. And it takes a really strong kind of person to then turn around and kill everything again, I feel. Especially once you know the way and where you're going. Alright, we'll kill that giant sleeve.
Place a key into a matching receptacle by pressing the X button.
This is actually the first key we've got in the game. The reason for climbing that ladder is only for the key. If you follow this ledge along, it will actually take you back up to where we were if you didn't want to slide down that thing. And you'll notice there's this pole as well going through this whole region. That's a part of a giant conveyor belt lift system that is like totally integral to what the Earth Realm's all about. And eventually we'll be able to have control of that, and it will take us on this wonderful, beautiful ride through all the areas we've already seen, and we'll get to go to another new area at the end of it. Like, and we're going to get a little bit of a taste of that as well soon. We're going to be on a big slide, and the slide's going to take us through areas that I bet you guys didn't even think like were real. There's an obsidian over there. If it feels like we haven't got an obsidian for a while, it's because what we saw in the town last episode, like that's the highest rate of obsidians you get in the whole game. Usually they are very rare, they're very much out of the way, and you don't get to see them too often. But we haven't missed any, don't worry. So we're actually going to break open this firewall and come into this thoroughly icy area. And here there's going to be a new type of enemy. They're elementals in this game, okay? And they correspond to the varying realms. So here are water elementals, or ice elementals, I guess. And they usually look like, you know, very slender women with big heads. And actually, elementals will be immune if you attack them with the wrong element. So here she's just laughing. It's because I'm attacking her with water, so we don't want to do that. Instead, we're going to come over, and we're actually very close to our second power now, guys. Episode 3, our second power. I think that's pretty good. We're going to grab some more emeralds. And there's actually this firewall over here, which we're just going to bust our way through, but also a key. So we've now got 2 keys. And if you remember in the previous room, there were 2 receptacles for keys. There's no coincidence. I'm going to go place those in just a second. But we can actually burn down this. I love this room as well, like this ice palace-y type room. Such a cool looking area. Such a cool looking area. Those guys actually won't be able to get in. Like this guy can fly over, but the others will just get damaged if they try and follow us through the fire. And we're actually going to come up this slope. And lo and behold, in the Earth Realm, do we get the Earth power? No. In the Earth Realm, we get the fire power.
Right. A new power.
Yeah, so now if you look in the bottom right hand corner, this is where we start to see the magic system come in. Bottom right hand corner, we've now got fire and water. Now water by default is a power that charges something on our axiom, but fire by default will just give us an armor. So if we want to put fire on our weapon, we have to combine it with an element that like interacts with the weapon in some way, right? So, what I'm actually going to do is cast water and fire together. And what that will do is create a spell that goes onto our axiom. But what happens if you blend fire and water together? You don't really get fire, do you? You get steam. So look, we've got steam on our axiom now. And that is enough to melt ice blocks. Can you see how these ice blocks have got like a little single dot under them? That means steam level 1, because we've got level 1 fire, level 1 water makes steam level 1. Steam level 1 will break these blocks. There's going to be thicker ice, worse ice later on that we need to, you know, get stronger to get through. So by combining water and fire, we get steam, and now we can melt the ice blocks, which is pretty cool. And you remember that there's actually quite a few ice blocks we've seen previously in the game. However, before we progress any further, I would like to jump through here. Now, there is a way to get that, and I forget what it was. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. We're going to come back through here. And what we're going to do is grab this obsidian. Those sleuths are mighty annoying. And actually, do you remember as well, in episode 1, I said that sleuths weren't weak to water, but they were weak to another more specific element? They're weak to steam. So steam isn't really an element in this game, but it is a power that you can get, and as a power, it will deal some mighty damage. So we've got a cart here. This is what I was talking about earlier, on a rail. And eventually, we'll be able to actually get on that and go further. There's also an obsidian up there, which we cannot access. Trust me, we can't access. Also, there's ice. Yay, ice physics. No action-adventure platforming game would be complete without ice physics. So we can't get that obsidian, but we can get the one that's just down here by dropping down as such. It's a big drop, but we're okay. So that's 14 obsidians and 2 keys for the Earth Realm. And both of these 2 keys just so happen to go into this horrible-looking contraption here with the gold plating. That's 1. That's 2, and that actually opens up our ride down there. That is largely an optional thing that, well, it's not optional to complete the game, but that's like, for what we're doing right now, there's actually no need to go on that platform, so I'm going to leave it, and we will see that later. But here, look, if I use steam and then attack a sleeth, he dies in 2 hits. And then if we get stronger steam, for example, you can see how that would go. And then this is how the RPG stuff, you know, there's no leveling up, there's no dealing with strength and dex and armor and stuff. There is just these elements and getting stronger with the magic, and I really enjoy it. And you can quickly see the more elements we get as well, it starts to get crazy with the amount of combos you can do. Magic has 8 different elements, and you can do just an ungodly amount of different things with that game. It's sort of similar here. I do feel like maybe we're missing an obsidian at this point, but I'm pretty sure we're not. And I'm also sort of flobbing about quite a lot here. So look, let's create our steam. And over in this corner of the icy area, there are 2 ice blocks that we can melt to descend down this slope. And it does look a lot like this is where the earth realm meets the water realm, doesn't it? Is that a coincidence, perhaps? So first loading screen for a long time, by the way. We haven't seen a loading screen since we left town. That's how big these realms are. And we're on a slide! Look at this! Look at this slide! There are loads of gems. I'm going to miss these gems so badly. Oh my god, I would not be a good toboggan person. Don't worry about them. You can have more control over this slide later on as you get more powers. Oh my god, I do say that an awful lot in this LP. Get used to it, guys. So I'm not going to worry about those for now, but we'll come down. I might not ever worry about them. Check it out. Oh, I love this slide. And does this look familiar? Oh, we're back in the water realm. And what did I tell you guys? The very first disc... Oh, man, come on. I know I can get that. What did I tell you guys? The very first disc fragment. Wow. The very first disc fragment we would ever get is this one. I did say. So we can melt it. Ta-da! Looks marginally better than the fire, by the way. And... oh, that was the sound of my render completing as well. So yay for that. Check it out. Disc fragment. So if I press back, we now have 14 obsidians, varying gemstones. If you have a look at the water disc in the bottom right, we've got 1 fragment of it. Very cool. So there we go, guys. Awesome. Now what we're going to do as well is, because we now have fire, we can melt many of the ice blocks we were seeing in this region before. Much needed save point here. So let's grab this. And I'm going to take you on a little bit of a tour. We're also going to get a really well-hidden secret, one of my favourite secrets that this game has to offer, honestly. As well as I'm going to show you... okay, here's what I kind of want to do with this LP as well. I don't want to, like, when we get a new element, like when we get our 3rd element, there's going to be loads of new spells we get because of all the varying combinations. And I'm not just going to show them off randomly. I'm going to, like, wait until we need them, just to sort of keep that there, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, we can now melt this and grab this obsidian. This was something I didn't even, like, mention in the commentary existed. I have this, like, overwhelming, like, temptation to just say fucking everything I see, but I'm going to assume sometimes you guys see it too. We're going to climb up here, and do you remember last time we were here, I mentioned that there was this dark cave, and that we couldn't really see what was going on in there? Well, now we can. If we cast fire on its own, water on its own goes to the axiom like so, water and fire make steam. Fire on its own gives us flame armor that wears out incredibly quickly, but also illuminates a large area of the world. So we can actually explore through here quite quickly. And you'll notice actually that I've got armor on me at the moment, and I have a power on my axiom.
The red globes replenish your fire element.
See, we haven't even heard this guy's voice this entire episode. I told you the hints would be less and less. So yeah, we basically get 2 different things at once. You can give yourself an armor, and you can give yourself a weapon upgrade. And of course, we'll kill this big sleep here. And of course, right now we only have 1 armor, and this is the one that lights the way, which is very useful. I really appreciate that it's such a basic combo. You know, it's just fire on its own kind of thing, which is always really helpful because there's a lot of dark areas in the game. When they want them to be dark, that is. And it's so intuitive and easy just to cast spells in this game. If you think about like Zelda and stuff, like where there are loads of items, and here's another ice block which we can melt, which creates the steam vent. So this is why we wouldn't want to just fumble around blindly in the dark, because we can do anything anyway. Creates this steam vent, and we can get higher up. But if you think about like Zelda and many other games like this where you get loads of items and like pickups and, oh, I need bombs to get through this thing, you're always constantly clicking back and then cycling through an inventory, coming back into the game, clicking back. I can't stand that about games. I really can't. Well, with Azurik, it's not an issue. Everything is just all on the left trigger and then the just regular buttons, I guess. I'm fanboying on this game way too much, but hey, still, whatever. I am playing it after all. Here, so now, this next area, you just want to wait here, and this large iceberg will come along. Jump on over to it. Don't mess up the jump like I almost did. You definitely don't want to do that. It will go into the Steam here and lag a little bit, I guess. I'm curious whether it's just my Xbox that's lagging or whether everyone's Xbox would lag it. But like, this game does seem a little bit laggy in certain places. It's kind of annoying. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I can get this to play in 720p. But guys, you have no idea how long I was pissing about like soft modding that Xbox. It was ridiculous. But the secret is we're actually going to swim over here. We're in current water at the moment, so we have to be quick. We're going to swim over here behind the waterfall. Is there a cave? No, there's no cave at all behind here. So already we're in a really obscure place. Really obscure. There's no cave, but if you look, there are vines, and it's so hard to see them. There are vines on this wall. So if you walk towards the wall, you'll start climbing it. And if you zoom the camera in so that you can continue to see without the water obscuring you, you can actually climb up this wall. Like, this is why this is one of my favourite secrets, just because it's so bizarre. Go into the dark cave, melt the ice block, ride it to the top, wait a long period of time for the ice to randomly manifest that you can climb on, travel on it, don't get caught in the rapids, go randomly behind a waterfall, and then, and only then, will you get to the top, which allows you to, like, and even this is pretty bizarre, which allows you to drop off, because there is basically land beneath us, don't worry. And we're on top of a rock, and there's an obsidian at the top. Wow, what a crazy secret. What a crazy secret. And do you remember ages ago, guys, episode 1, when I zoomed in, we were like all the way down there, near the, I think you can even see where we were stood. We were near the Oracle, weren't we? That's crazy. I love it. And then to get back, you just sort of take a bit of a ride down. That was the slide as well, if you guys just saw it too. And do be careful here, because it will drop you off of massive heights, and if you're not careful, you can get hit pretty hard if you land the wrong way, such as on that bridge. Oh my god, I survived. Wow, okay. That's about it though, I'm pretty sure. Oh my god, I thought my alarm was going off there, but it wasn't. It was just the sound of the bridge. That's pretty much it for this region. I don't think we're missing anything else. There are no more ice blocks for us to break. How long have we been going? Wow, 24 minutes. This is not where I wanted to end this video. I wanna end it somewhere else. Okay, no, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. You can thank me later. Okay, so how do we even leave? I forget. Okay, we're gonna go this way. Yeah, right. So now that we've got fire and water, it's like we were just in the Earth realm, and look, this cave as well. Do you remember? It was kind of annoying. I said to hang to the right. Well, now you can be okay. You can explore it fully. How we were in the Earth realm. And it seemed like we were going to do all this stuff repairing the machinery. And don't get me wrong, you can do some stuff over there. But it's best to go back later because we still don't have like quite everything we need. And the Oracle isn't telling us that. This is just the situations where you just sat down, enjoying the peace of the world and just exploring and seeing what you find. You know, going on lifts and sort of going through these huge environments. And eventually though, you do seem to sort of get led back here to the water realm. And now that we have our 2 power-ups, we can perhaps look at exploring some more of these areas. So, where do I want to go first? Well, there's the strong current here still, so we're going to go through this teleporter to take us back to the regular water realm area. I've got so much to show you guys. I predict it's probably going to be, if I'm quick, we'll get there in like 3 minutes or so. So now that we're back here, let's have a quick drop down. You might have been wondering why I didn't pick up some... Oh no, I did get these in the end. I actually wasn't planning on getting the pickups at the bottom of this platform until I got to this point. It was a little thought I had to myself on my test run, so that it'd be a little bit more efficient, I guess, with the way we're moving around. But now that we've got the ability to melt ice blocks, we can melt the very first one we ever found, which was here, and travel deeper into the water realm. So,
This is the
Steam. Again, the Oracle won't say anything different. It's quite a long jump there. It's not the worst the game's got to offer. But we have a new Oracle here, so let's have a listen.
This is the central part of the water realm. You can swim to different parts of the realm in search of the missing disk fragments and additional powers.
Okay, sure. All right, so we're going to come over here, activate the second silver this first silver teleporter. The second of those is on a floating platform out in the middle of this ocean. And let me tell you, this ocean is fully explorable. You can swim all the way to the deep of it, and is basically as far as you can see. There is a current right out at the edge. There are 2 realms that you can see right now. One there with the misty, stormy looking area, and one over in the glacial area. Now, we just got the ability to melt ice blocks, so it would kind of make sense for us to go to the glacial zone, right? No, because this is Azurik and nothing's that simple. Instead, we're going to do some other stuff. First, I want to show you guys this cave out here on the right-hand side. So if you hug the right wall as you come to the main area, you're actually going to come to a very dark cave. One kind of cool mechanic is we can't see anything in here. We can see that there's like some pillars or possibly something above us, but there's nothing really to see or do. If we try and light our way, because we're underwater, it'll only flash for a second before going out again. So we're going to have to deal with this later. But the next fragment we get is going to be related to that cave. And basically, most of what I'm going to be showing you in the next video is related to getting into that cave and exploring that cave properly. And if you have a little bit of a look around, you'll see that we're actually... Well, what's of note here? There's like a cool-looking statue here. There's a blocked-off rock wall there that looks like there was a landslide of some kind. Are these things significant? Yes, they are. Actually, I'm not even going to strong arm you about it. They are definitely significant, and that's going to help us to get the disc fragments within there. But we'll have to do it later. Before all of that, do I even show you the... Oh my god, there's so much to show. Okay, screw it. We're just going to go into the water, okay? There's a dock there with a red Overlord, can you see? And killing him will be important, but we'll have to show that next episode. Killing that red Overlord, and that's going to do something quite cool with some other Overlords in another machine that start firing missiles and stuff at us. It always surprises me, the kind of you think you know what's coming with this, and then all of a sudden you're in a first-person shooter section. And yes, I'm being deadly serious. There are vaguely first-person shooter type things in this game. Anyway, if we descend all the way down, basically in the depths of the ocean in this region of the water, anyway, there are two gorges. One of them's got a save point in it, which I'm going to gratefully collect. And then I'm going to swim back up. It's also got a seal here. Most zones have got a seal of some kind, which you can only get once you've got a lot of fragments of the respective disc. So we only have one fragment at the moment.
You need 3 fragments of the water disc to pass beyond this.
And then we'll be able to get into that seal. There are bosses in this game. I know we're coming up to the end of the 3rd episode. You might feel like, oh, you sort of know what to expect. There are big bosses, and there are cutscenes and all kinds of stuff to be coming up. They're just all sort of portioned out after a long period of time. Usually there's a boss for the final fragment kind of thing. But yeah, we're going to go into this pipe hidden in the water. And that's going to take us through some cool areas down there. And this is actually going to take us through that gate into that misty area, but in sort of a unique way. In a way that we're going to enter this realm through a secret passage that's going to get us an obsidian next episode. But I guess that's all for now, though. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will leave you on this sort of cinematic ascent into the stormy parts of the water realm. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.